Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Thriving Adoptees podcast. So today it's just me today. Another one of my one-handers rather than a conversation. One of the things I love about the conversations that I have with the guests is their passion for making a difference in the world. Yeah. So most of the people that come on the show are professionals in the adoption space. Some are doing something else, and they're adoptive parents or they're adoptees who are writing a book to share their story about what they've learned to help other adoptive parents and adoptees thrive. And I'm with you. You know, one of the things that I love so much about those conversations is connecting with the passion. So people talk about like-minded, having conversations with like-minded people. I heard something from a mentor of mine, Richard, a guy called Richard Wilkins, British guy, talking about like-hearted people, right? So when I connect with in the conversations for the podcast, I'm connecting with like-hearted people. They are passionate about doing what they can to make the world a better place, make the world of adoption a better place, and make the world of their clients, their listeners, their readers, their families. It's all about making a better world, and I connect with that, and I love that, and that's why I love having the conversations. I think we're in that space. We're in that like-hearted space, and sometimes that passion kind of, well, most of the time, that passion eclipses the frustration that some of us feel. So, you know, we're trying to do more. We're trying to have more impact, and I sense it every now and again. I sense it more in emails than I do in the conversations, because the conversations are always so forward thinking and so passionate. We don't really spend a lot of time talking about our frustrations about not being able to make the impact that we want to make in the world. And I feel that frustration a lot. I feel that frustration a lot. I'm so active because I'm trying to have more impact. And I feel a sense of excitement about the opportunity to have more impact, and then sometimes I feel frustrated about it as well. And as I say, I sometimes sense that in the people, more often than not in their kind of their emails or some of the private conversation. Not for the public. We're all coming from a great space in the conversations. So I figured I had a wake-up call this week in a completely unrelated area. So as some of you may know, I'm a keen swimmer, and I've been swimming. I swim a lot, and I've walked the dog a lot, and yet I've still got my little love handles, little love handles. I don't know. But, you know, like I'm still carrying a bit of weight that I would rather not carry. And it dawned on me on Monday that I haven't tried anything new whatsoever in my routine to shift those love handles. So I started losing weight about 11 years ago, when I sold my old business and left that behind, and I was walking the dog more and I was swimming more. And then a couple of years in, I plateaued. A couple of years after that, so I plateaued. I stopped losing weight about 9 years ago, and I've never done anything differently. And I thought, I need to do something differently. I need to do something differently. And I thought, well, I need to do something differently in my professional life, if you like, in my work in the adoption community. And I thought, well, what could I do? And maybe you need to do something differently as well. If you're frustrated about the income, about the impact that you're having, you're either frustrated about the impact, or you just want to have more impact. The two things don't necessarily go together. We don't actually have to be frustrated to do more. We just want to do more. And I think most of the time I'm coming from that place. I just want to do more. I just want to help more. And then the frustration is more a come and go thing, right? So I was thinking about what I could do to help. And I to help myself and to help you. And I was thinking about something that I used to do. So before I came to the doctoring space, spent 7 years. I did a lot of work in schools, and I was working on. I started off from a place of how can we help kids be happy, and then pretty soon I figured the way to. I figured it. A kid said something to me, and I thought, well, what if we align happiness and success? Because I know, and I think we all know to a certain extent intuitively, that success doesn't always lead to happiness, but happiness leads more often to success. So happiness leads to success more than success leads to happiness. We see all these people who have achieved great success. I'm thinking really, like financial success, in the world of business, and they're still on the treadmill, thinking that next X million pounds is going to make them happy, or the new super yacht is going to make them happy. Perhaps as soon as I say that, perhaps it's a message that doesn't resonate well with the audience that I'm talking to now. I figured out, I had an idea, and I thought, well, how can I connect with these kids? And I connected with these kids about, as I say, prompted by one of the things that one of the kids said. I started the sessions in schools by asking them, what's your dream? I'm gonna ask you to, there's an incredible power with reconnecting with our dream. So what's your dream? What's your dream? Reconnecting with our passion, reigniting our passion, going back to what this is all about, going back to the end goal that we're looking for, our vision for the world, our mission for ourselves. That really, going right back to basics, that fires me up in a way that nothing else does. So, and if you're feeling, you're trying to achieve more, I'd encourage you to think back to what's your dream, what's your mission, what's your vision, whatever word works for you. Then the next question then is, what do you need to do to make your dream come true? That's the gateway to opening up some new ideas. So I'm running through a self-coaching process here, and I'm gonna illustrate it with myself, right? So what's my dream? Well, my dream really is, I think it's about helping the world's adoptive families thrive, helping adoptees thrive, helping their parents help them thrive, helping adult adoptees thrive. That's my dream. If I was going to look at it, put perhaps a bit more tangibility on that, I would say, right, well, for so long post-adoption has been the also run. The whole adoption world has for decades focused on the adoption and not post-adoption. So look at today, there's all the training is pre-adoption. All the organizations are in the adoption, in the I was going to say business, in their efforts are all about making the adoption happen. 99% of their 99% of the adoption organizations are focused probably 99% of their time on adoption and pre-adoption, the logistics and the pre-adoption training. And maybe 1% of the organizations in the world are focused on post-adoption. And that's where all the tough stuff is. So what's my dream? Well, my dream is where we bring adoption, post-adoption into the same zone as adoption. It becomes our focus. So that's my dream. And I encourage you again to connect right with your dream. So what do you need to do to make your dream come true? What's your dream? What do you need to make your dream come true? So when I think about myself, what do I need to do to make my dream come true? I think I need to do more. So I need to connect with more people in the adoption space. I need to connect with more people in education, so we can have trauma-informed, hope-obsessed education. And I think I need to connect with more people in the corporate world who are the employers of the adoptive parents. That gives us another, so I can reach adoptive parents through adoption agencies, adoption organizations, and I can reach them through corporate organizations. So I need to do more of all that. So what do you need to do more of? And here's the big one, I'm referring to this later on. What do I need to do differently? What do I need to do differently? Well, what do I need to do differently? Everything. Everything is up for grabs. Everything's up for grabs. And one of the things that I realized earlier in this week, that I need to do more to support the people that support the adoption community. So I need to do more with adoption professionals. So what does that look like? Well, it looks like a blank piece of paper, I think. I want to explore the infinity of that opportunity. So what am I already doing? Well, I guess I'm giving adoption professionals a platform with the podcast. I'm doing stuff like this. I'm supporting people with their social media, setting up their own podcasts. And I thought, the thing to me is like, I love being coached, and I loved helping other people. So what if my support looked like coaching adoption professionals? What if that was the thing? And I thought, yeah, that'd be great, because I love the conversations that I have with you guys. So what if those conversations got focused on what your goals are? Today we're doing a self-coaching process, but what if I focused in on in how I can support you to achieve your goals, and overcome your frustrations? You know, that we all need to create more time in the day. We need to become more effective with the time that we are active, and we all need to raise more money. And I've learned loads and loads and loads about that money stuff. So what if I was to support that, especially like the corporate stuff and the corporate donors and aligning with corporate needs. In my old business, when my dad he developed a product in the mid-90s, and it was all about, it was a philanthropic sell. It was a philanthropic pitch, if you want. So it was engaging with the biggest companies in the UK to help them help kids. By 2000, that wasn't working anymore. So we had to shift it to, what are your needs, Mr. Corporate Client, and how can we help you make your, what are your needs? What are your dream? How can we make your dream come true? Can you see that there's a tie-up here? And I see charities, especially here in the UK, talking about, and in the States, to be fair, they talk about what they do, not what they do for their their sponsors, their funders. So the focus is all in, it's not actually on them. It's usually about what they do for the recipients of their work. So they focus on the beneficiary, not the donor that makes the beneficiary, that makes the benefit possible. And we've got to get out of our heads there. We've got to get out of the heads. It's not about what we do. It's about what we can do for the person that we are pitching our services to. And pitching is the wrong word, right? So, because pitching is trying to shove information, trying to sell the idea to somebody. Whereas understanding what their needs, we've got a much better chance of bringing in that support of securing those funds, if we securing the client, if instead of focusing on us or our beneficiaries, we focus on them and what they need. So what do you need to do to make your dreams come true? Have you got somebody in your corner helping you, giving you that distance, that sense of perspective between you and what you're doing, so that they can help you see what you can't see for yourself? And I'd go back to the point, I've missed this. Look at mine. So for 9 years, my weight has been stagnating and I've never done anything differently. How nuts is that? Because I just can't see. I couldn't see the wood for the trees, and that's what this self-coaching or coaching, support, mentoring, that's what helps us see the wood for the trees. And then then perhaps the biggest one here is the next question: who do you need to be? Who do you need to be? Who do you need to be to do what you need to do to make your dream come true? Who do you need to be? And I think about myself here. I think I've got to be, like so many of you, especially the adoptive parents that come on the show, the adoptive parents that are listening into the show, the Thriving Adoptees podcast, they're curious. What they're doing isn't working as well as they want. And they're curious, they're hungry to know what they need to know to help their adopted kids thrive. So what if I was to take that on board for myself as well? What if you were to take that on board? What if you can, like, it's back to the blank page, back to it's the innate curiosity that we had as a kid. It's reconnecting with that curiosity, that openness. No stone can be left unturned, and we're gonna question what we're doing. We're gonna question whether the new ideas that we've come up with, we're gonna question them less. We're just gonna experiment more. So those are my 3 questions. What's your dream? What do you need to do to make your dream come true? And who do you need to be? to do all that. So I'm going to leave you with those to consider. And as always, if this is making any sense to you, but you don't know what to do next, get in touch. Email me, simon@thriving.tees.com, and we'll see you very soon. Thanks a lot. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.